So you just got home, you're really annoyed with your work, and you just want to kill some stuff. And this guy just walked right in my shot. What a guy! Oh, that's a cute little bird. Anyway, go to a chaos dungeon. You can kill lots of stuff. The way chaos dungeons work, you open up this menu here, and you have your tabs at the top. So North Vern is the first one you get. So if you're just hitting item level 250 or just hitting the end game, the first one you do will drop your 302 set. So you can see that it's a restricted trading item level of 250, but your item level is actually 302 on it. So this is your base set that you'll start upgrading via the honing process. Go check out that video. So here you basically get to choose based on your current item level. So as you level up, you can get harder and harder dungeons. So as you reach those points, you want to do the higher one so you'll get better rewards. You can see on the right hand side that this is changing as to the rewards. So a couple things with this menu. Once you've beaten all of these, this will be when you've beaten the North Vern content and the Shoeshire content for the storyline. Once you hit item level 460, you are able to do Rohendal's Chaos Dungeons. But you have to complete this main story quest first. So you have to go and complete Rohendal's main story before you can actually enter. So you could be item level 600 and you still wouldn't be able to go in here unless you actually complete that storyline. So going back to North Vern, the one I'm able to do on this character, you have a couple options here. You can see all the different rewards you can get from doing this, and you have what's called an Aura of Resonance. So you get 100 points of this per day per character, and it will use 50 to do this dungeon. Now, this is basically you get these drops if you're using Aura of Resonance. If you do not have any of this left, you can still do these, but you get a different set of drops. You actually get these ones here, the Perception Shards and the Disorder Crystals. These are basically a currency that you'll be able to spend at a vendor. I turned off all my stuff because it was another video. So I believe in this town, and things will be in different locations on every map, depending on the town you're in, but this one here, you've got your Chaos Dungeon Exchanger. So if after your 2 daily ones, you can keep farming Perception Shards to trade in for honing materials to upgrade your character. So if you're the type of person that just wants to just do the 2 dailies, get your stuff and move on, maybe go to a different character, maybe go to different content, you can. But if you're somebody that wants to just power grind and slaughter monsters, you can do this over and over and over until you cap out all that shop, buy everything out for the week. And every Thursday at 5 a.m., that weekly changes over and you can buy more. So you can just continuously, infinitely farm. These shards as well are bound to the roster, so you can trade them between your characters and trade the shop. The shop is unique to the character, but these items are unique to the roster. So you can farm on your main, give them to your alts, and buy the stuff. So, last portion of this menu here that matters is your rest bonus. So if you're making lots of alts and you don't get to play them all, it's not the worst case scenario. You might not have time, maybe you had to do something, you had to go away that weekend. Every time the day rolls over and you have Aura of Resonance left over, so yesterday I didn't do one of my Aura of Resonances, so this increased by 10. You can see how the bar is half full. Once you get 20, so if you miss 2, it will actually fill this up 1 full bar. Now what this is it's a bonus that the next one that you do will consume. If you have a full bar, it'll consume the full bar to give you double the drops. So at an efficiency rating, if you're a min-maxer, it's a 66% efficiency if you're missing dungeons each day. If you're a casual player, well, this will fill up and then you can just play on the weekend and you can blow through 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and still have 1 left over. So it's kind of like a catch-up protection mechanic to try to help you get more rewards and not fall behind if you can't play as often. But it is still not as good as if you play every single day with that character. Now this rest bonus, again, is per character, and this starts as soon as you have one character reach the point of being able to get this menu. All of your alt characters, even if they're level 1, will start to gain this rest bonus. So it's really good to create your alts, even if you aren't going to play them yet, just so that this all caps out. So the way to actually do the dungeon, you have three options. You can find a party, so go to the party finder and find people that are doing this specific thing. Maybe they're going to be in here saying farm because they want to just do it over and over and over and over. They want to do that infinite dungeon. Or you can do matchmaking, which will just find three other players to play with, so you'll do 4 people. Or you can click enter and go in solo. The content scales based on the number of players. It's generally still always easier with 4 people in all the different contents, but sometimes you just don't want to play with others. I'm going to do matchmaking for the sake of this video, just to show. So you get this menu pops up, you have to accept and be readied up. If you don't ready up, it'll kick it out, and then you go into the Chaos Dungeon. This mode is super simple. It's basically just kill mobs, teleport to the next zone. However, there is a slight variation to this, so I'm going to try to help these guys kill everything as fast as possible. I probably should have done the lower level one just so that they would die quicker. You can see it just keeps spawning mobs. So notice your mini-map at the top right. You can see regular mobs, but then you'll also be able to see boss mobs as soon as they spawn. You can see your party members, and your party's on the left here. You can see everybody's health. You can see what class they are and what buffs and debuffs they currently have on them. So that's kind of just intro to party mechanics. And so you see that they keep spawning. And at the top left, up here, there is a thing called purification. So we're purifying this area from the Chaos Gate that is opened, causing everything to come out, is what the lore is. So as we reach certain percentages, you get a gate will pop open. This is a blue one, so this is a normal one that moves you to the next area. You should always just click that and go through. There's no point in actually killing all of the little bad mobs, because the most drops actually come from bosses. The regular mobs, they can drop some stuff, but it's just not worth it time-wise, because the faster you go, the more you're going to farm, as well as the higher chance, as far as I understand, it's a higher chance for that portal, rather than being blue, it can be gold or purple. If it's gold, it takes you to a room where there's I call them loot goblins, but they're not actually goblins. There's like a dragon, there's a mimic, like a treasure chest. There's all kinds of different loot goblins, and they have no health bar, and you don't deal any damage when you hit them, or at least it doesn't show the damage. So it's very confusing for people at first. So when you kill them, they drop a crap load of items. And those can actually spawn on the ones where you're not doing, on all of them. I just failed that ability because I'm talking too much. They can appear on even the infinite farming ones. So even if you're not able to, you have no resonance, you can still gain those items. Hopefully I'm not making too much noise in the game. So you can also see, so this is, you got your mini boss, and then this icon here, the red one, is the boss of the room. So basically this guy's the more powerful one, and he's hopefully going to die soon. So I use my ultimate on him. So you can see that like this guy, much harder, but he drops the main bulk of the stuff to the floor, and it opens a portal. So I don't recommend not killing bosses, because they give stuff, so we shouldn't be leaving this until this boss is done. I don't know what these guys are doing, so I'm just going to kill it real fucking quick. Excuse my language. Okay, see, those actually give you a lot of stuff, so you don't want to leave mini-bosses behind. Didn't want to hold those guys hostage, but see, that portal again was blue. So it's something like a 1 in 10 or a 1 in 20 to get a gold or a purple zone. The gold one is that loot goblin I already spoke about. The purple one will take you to a boss monster. It's a lot more prevalent, I find, in the higher tiers. But it'll be a boss that mimics somebody from the act that you're on, like it'll be like a storyline boss pumped up. And if you kill them, they give you really good rewards. And again, there's something that you can infinitely farm, but it's only like 1 in 20 or so runs will they pop up. So you gotta farm a lot if you want to do that content. So that's pretty much it here. All you gotta do is you finish off, it's usually 3 zones, sometimes more if you get the loot goblin thing, but generally 3 is your normal amount. So this is the last area. On the last area, you usually have to break these crystals to make more mob spawn. And once you killed them all. So again, the bosses give the most purification. And we're almost there. You'll end up seeing an MVP thing at the very end. So who did the most? It's probably not going to be me because I've been talking and not using my abilities. You can see most of them are not on cooldown, which is generally not good. You want to use everything you can. There's few things like Hero, especially big damage attacks like that one. So 91%. I'm kind of dragging this on just because I want to show the very end of it. But these guys are not really going quickly. So this should be the last one, so we're at 7%. Group them up. Sometimes, some people also like playing this solo because then the mobs are all, the attention's on one person, you. So you can kite them into a group and then blow them all up. If, say, like you're a sorcerer or you're dropping a nuke as an artillerist. So you get this screen, it shows you your final reward. You get some harmony, shards of your tier. You also get some silver. And then it will pop up with who's the MVP and why. So this person did 38% of the total damage and they killed 42% of the mobs. As far as I have gathered from like seeing the screen, usually it goes in order. So it's like number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. I'm not sure if that's correct. It could actually just be random. But very often when I do poorly, I find myself in this slot. And when I do well, I find myself in this slot. So if I'm not the MVP. That's how that works there. So one thing that I want to teach everybody, and all these guys left so I can't show it as easily, but when you hit the end, whoever's the party leader can click select level, and you can just go in again. It'll be matchmaking again, or enter if... it'll be enter if you have 4 people. Like if I hit enter now, it'll just take just me in, because I'm the only one here. So if you don't run away right at the end, if you're trying to do infinite, you can just keep entering, so you don't have to load out to the town and then load back in. You just load to the next one. So otherwise, you just click leave. It'll say like if you leave, you're gonna get a you're gonna leave the party. If you're in the run, it'll say you'll get a penalty, which means you can't enter one again. So yeah, that's pretty much everything when it comes to Chaos Gates. They go all the way up to. I'll show you real quick as soon as this loads. So anytime you zone in, usually it has to load. So this is tier 1 between these two. You get all the way up to 580. As soon as you hit 600, 600 is where you start going into tier 2. So these two tabs are tier 2. And tier 3 is entirely in Punica, where you can see that it kind of starts changing. And that's all additional content. It's almost like tier 3.1, tier 3.2, tier 3.3, etc. That's how that works. So that's everything that has to do with Chaos Dungeons. You really want to get those loot goblins and those bosses. You can farm them infinitely if you want and trade in the crystals, etc. And that's about it. Cheers.